Custom signage.
Yep, here we are. Now, this is the next video in our series on how to get the CNC plasma table from Eastwood for free. And this, we're talking about custom signage, which this is going to be geared a little closer to commercial, business, and maybe even industrial. So making custom signs for businesses, doing storefront signs, even doing signs inside of their store, maybe behind their kiosk or their purchase center. It's one of the biggest markets there are because they have marketing budgets. So a standard 4-foot, 3-foot sign that you could cut for someone at home that's going to put it out front of their house might be a $100, $200 sign. You now have a budget where you can get a little more intricate, a little more advanced with the sign, and you're talking about a $1,500 sign. I've seen signs go as high as $5,000 because you put LEDs in them, you do multiple coatings on the signs, you do a clear back, maybe you do a powder coated center, and then a trim ring that's billet aluminum. So the more advanced you get, you're just doubling your price, doubling your market value, and it is exponential. There's no cap to this. We have done a few signs. One of the local automotive shops here, we did a point of sale sign behind his desk inside of the front office. We did a big oval sign for their logo, and you'll see that here in a second. But it could be something as simple as this. We cut this. Now, this is one of the earlier cuts we did, but this is a surveillance sign. This is letting people know not to mess with the house because it is under surveillance at all times. It has security. So it is neat. And this is, again, all cut on this machine, designed and processed for this machine and cut by it. So this sign here, if you were to cut these in between the design labor and the cut labor, this is a $200-$300 cut. Now, I just rattle canned it with some black really quick just to get it done. But if you were to have this powder coat or anything like that, you're talking around a $500 to $600 sign. And companies want to have prevalent, eye-catching signs that they can put out there to keep people away and protect their investment of their business. This will do that. This will do that very well.
It's very business dependent.
It is business dependent, but...
Firearm shop or something.
Yeah, firearm shop. Yeah, that makes sense.
On brand.
You're not going to a bakery and getting that, but...
I don't know. I might be into that. I probably shop there regularly.
Yes.
No soup for you.
No soup. But that's another thing. That brings me into my next point. Personalized signs. Now, these are not ones you're going to run a production run on. These are ones that you're making one-off for a customer who has an idea, has a niche, has some type of inside joke that they want to make this sign about. Whether it's, F around and find out surveillance, or it's some type of inside joke with their friends and family that they want to get on a professionally made sign. That is when you make your money because you're doing it one time for one customer and they're paying for everything from the design time to the test cut to the finalization and the coating. That is all profit in there. So there's a lot of room to make a lot of money there. So that is where you're going to start getting comfortable with the programs you're using, getting comfortable with the materials and the coatings at the end. Those are even the most important when you get into asking upwards around $1,000, $1,500 per sign. You have to make sure your coatings are professional. No more rattle can bombing a piece and calling it good. You've got to really take your time and coat it well so it looks professional and they're not ashamed to have it represent their business or whatever their need for that material is.
It's time to find your local powder coat guy.
Yes, most powder coating shops, that sign there, I got a quote for that. That is a 15 by 15 sign. I was quoted $45 to have it powder coated, which if I cleaned it and brought it to him, $45. If he had to clean it and prep it and all that, it's more. But $45 for a sign like that, I could probably mark that up to a customer to around $85 to $100 for the coating. That's a good margin right there. And it just increases the level of product when I turn it out. That brings us to our next point of adding extra things to signs to get more money. If you start with a flat plain sign, you're limited to what you can charge with it. You can grind it, put some cool coatings on it, Sure. But once you start adding 3 dimensions to that sign, you're adding value and you're adding profit. So you can add some space between the backing plate and the front plate of the sign. That leaves you space in between to do LEDs, to do any kind of fixtures or lights inside of it. And that increases profit margins like crazy. So start thinking in that dimension if you're making advanced commercial ready signs, because again, once you go into the 3 dimension, the price just keeps going up. I have very rarely seen a commercial sign sell for under $2,000. That oval shop sign that we showed you earlier, we'll show it again right here. That is a $1,500 sign, and it is on the cheap end. We should have charged more, but we didn't. Begrudgingly, I did not. But that is a sign that if we went to a person we didn't know, we went to someone that just came off the street that wanted this sign made, by labor hour, by manpower, and by time, that should have been $2,500 sign. You do 2 of those and this machine is paid for twice. So that is the profit margin that you can make very quickly with a machine like this.
What else you got, Dan?
So in your neighborhood, in your region, in your area, do some research. Find out what businesses you have around you that could benefit from someone who can make custom things out of metal. I have a local sign shop around that does pieces, but they don't have an in-house cutter to do these. They've been ordering them offhand and getting them in and making them work. So having someone local that can do something quick, while I might not have the capabilities to do as advanced cuts as their industrial cutter that they use, if they're in a snare and need something really quick, I'm the guy they call, because I let them know I have it, I let them know I can do it, and I can do it quickly. Now, they know that the level might not be as professional as the industrial cutter that they use, out of Pittsburgh, but it's something that can get them out of a hard spot really quickly. In addition to that, something you wouldn't think about is local fence companies. If there's someone that does fencing, if they do gates, if they do custom doors, any of these things, they need someone who can cut patterns, who can cut letters, who can cut initials and monograms.
Yeah, which is all simple stuff.
All simple stuff that you just drop in and you can cut. And, the files we cut while we did this series, most of them didn't take longer than 15, 20 minutes to cut on the bigger, intricate panels. So if a gate company needs the $1 million house to have the initials of the owners, there's a lot of markup there for you.
Yeah, they just put a $200,000 fence around the property.
Yep, and every panel needs to have their logo on it. You're talking about maybe close to 800 panels around a property like that, and every other panel might have a monogram. So if you get a contract like that, they could pay for your whole year. It's not outlandish to think that.
At least buy the machine.
It would pay for the machine before you finish the job.
Would you say it would get you the machine for free?
It would indeed get you the machine for free. You've got the machine, they need some letters, you can cut them, you take a down payment for materials. That down payment on a job like that could pay for...
Probably buying the machine.
Probably buying the machine on a job like that, because if someone's ordering, let's just say they're on a conservative note, they need, let's just say, I'm gonna use my initials, someone's monogram is DM, and they need a DM for every piece of gate, every panel of gate around their property. You're talking, let's just say 150, 200 DMs, monogrammed cuts, maybe 11 inches square. That is going to pay for your machine. So don't be afraid to reach out to these businesses, think a little outside the box, let them know you have these capabilities and you're willing to work with them on a project. Maybe they throw you a quick project just to see what you can do. Maybe you find their logo online and you cut them a sign and you take it to them when you meet them.
That's a great idea.
And say, hey, I made this sign for you guys. I just want to let you know this is what I do for now. And I would love to help you out. And that gets you on their radar. That's let them know that you're serious about it and you showed up with some work. You didn't just say you could do it, you proved you could do it. So doing that sets you up for success with any kind of company that you encounter. And then again, they're using you for customer projects. Are you taking notes?
No, I'm looking up fence companies.
Oh, okay. There you go. I may or may not already have a contract to do a few gates. But doing that meet and greet with a sign that you've already cut that you can leave there just lets them know you're serious and that you can indeed do what you say. Because there are a lot of people in this social media age that have things they say they can do, but they've never actually done. So proving that with material and a hard piece sets you up for success in that realm. I mean, really, you're going to be the first person they think about when they need something quick.
Yeah, especially if you walk in with their logo on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, wait, this is awesome.
This is great. I was just thinking about buying this, and now I don't have to. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but again,
Please give me business.
a lot of these businesses have to order things online because there's no one locally that's a tradesman. There's no one locally that's a craftsman that's doing these things anymore. So when they find someone locally that they can help support and get things quick,
Yeah, they love it.
they love it. So you being local to that company that you're reaching out to is going to go a long way. And very quickly, I promise you, if you get a good company to work with, you're going to pay for this machine within 90 days. And I really stand by that. We've paid for this machine already. So it is going to be a success. And I can't wait to see
fence
it.
contract, you'll pay for it within 90 minutes.
This is true. Yeah, you get that down payment and you can
Look
pay
at
the
all these
machine.
DMs.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
they slid. One last piece of custom signage is house numbers, mailbox numbers, these kind of things for residential use and commercial use. You can do a light box, and then on the fascia, just do silhouette cut of the numbers and put a light behind it. And now you have an illuminated house number that you can use in residential and commercial applications, which is huge for a lot of industrial complexes because visibility is everything when it comes to business.
Yeah.
So
Especially when you get into the warehouse buildings and all that stuff, they all look the same.
they are all identical. So you want to make sure that you're setting yourself apart and you're letting people know that you do exactly what you say. So again, follow those tips and you're going to pay this machine off very quickly.
Cool.
So that's it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.